Dude, did you ever have a weird scenario? Because I had one, like I ended up in a taxi cab.
Okay.
All right. Zooted up, man. Some girl.
Where do you mind? Where were you living at this point?
I was living out here.
Okay.
And that's when I kind of like, I had a couple nights in a row where I got really just coked out, right? And I started and then I was in New York one night and a girl said something to me in a taxi. Oh, I tried to give her a smooch, right? And I wasn't being aggressive or anything. She was flirting. I tried to give her a smooch. She kind of like rejected me. She was kind of mean about it, right? Or I took it as mean, right?
Okay.
And it was fine. She got out of the taxi. There was no animosity between us. It was just, it wasn't going to happen. But then something in my head, like I told the driver, let's go get some cocaine, So next thing you know, me and this taxi driver are getting some cocaine, and then he at one point wants to get some hookers,
The taxi driver.
Yeah, he wants to get.
I'm surprised he didn't think it was a sting that you were asking to get cocaine. I feel like that's a lot of drivers actually get pinched that way.
Yeah, I think maybe. Yeah, I guess he didn't give.
You didn't seem undercover.
Yeah,
yeah.
I seemed overcover probably. Or I think he seemed like, damn, somebody better cover this.
You were
dude
covered.
up.
Yeah.
So anyway, dude, fast forward a couple hours later, I'm driving this guy's taxi. He's in the back.
And we're talking about an LA yellow cab?
We're talking about a New York.
I'm sorry, New York.
New York yellow cab.
Okay,
yeah.
Great.
We're up in North Harlem. I'm driving this guy's taxi, and he's in the back with a hooker, right?
Did he have the beaded seat thing? How was the seat comfort?
The back seat was pretty nice, I remember.
No, but the front seat once you were driving.
I thought it was pretty good. I was pretty scared. I just wanted to get back to my hotel.
Sure.
And I didn't know.
I would love to be up in that cockpit for a second, of a real New York City yellow cab and just see the setup. Because I never get my setup right.
It felt
drinks to phone cord to just like, I never feel like I have my console right.
Yeah, you're right.
So I'd like to see how they do it.
I think it felt like somebody had sat in there who had like, it felt like the guy in there was like he was going to leave his children probably.
Oh, okay.
It had a sinking.
Yeah. You could feel the despair. Also, the guy was in the back seat.
That's true. That
so it wasn't just, So in terms of his vibe, you had it coming from a bunch of directions.
Right. And then anyway, so I ended up and I had to do Opie and Jim Norton that morning, right?
Oh, wow.
So I ended up on the radio and Daryl Strawberry was in there. And I get to the radio station, I can't even talk, right? I'm just like blasted out of my brain, and I'm still thinking, I was still ducking off in the bathroom. I'm doing cocaine in the bathroom. We're in the stalls at Sirius Radio. Andy Cohen's in there peeing in the next one, talking to me, right? And I'm just sitting in there just blasting up.
Yeah.
And then
I would always kill for the single occupant bathroom.
Yeah.
With the key.
Oh. When you got in there, you're like, God.
It's your office.
Welcome to Rome.
What won't I blow this line off of?
Dude, yeah.
I got every surface imaginable. Counter to counter.
The saddest part was doing some cocaine off the
baby changing station. Yeah. I got a joke about that in my new special.
Do you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Just for you.
Thank you. But yeah, so that was a night for me when I saw Daryl Strawberry. He was on the radio station, right?
Oh, you saw Daryl while gacked up?
He was the other guest.
Oh, wow.
So that was a moment for me where everything kind of lined up.
Could he tell?
No. I don't think. I had on sunglasses, which was weird. I'd been doing well going on this show.
Yeah.
And I had on sunglasses and I could barely talk, I remember.
Yeah.
And that was scary because my only gift I had in my voice, the only thing in my life I'd had to express myself was my voice.
Yeah.
And suddenly I couldn't use it.
Okay. And your mind, which you now had to use because you were going to be interviewed on the radio.
Yeah, and it was real scary. And then also this moment of seeing Daryl Strawberry, someone who I'd always thought was all coked out of his brain.
Sure.
Because that's all I'd ever heard, right?
Yeah.
Was the old stories. I didn't know that he was a sober guy and had his deal together.
Oh, yeah. I assumed he had his deal together, but I did think he'd be able to spot you still.
Yeah, I didn't know what I thought, I think.
Okay.
Which I don't know if that even makes any sense. But there was some alignment at that moment of like me not having control over my voice, me having a perception of somebody else that was false or something.
Sure.
And that just lined up.
And you hadn't slept and you were on cocaine.
Yeah. Yeah. But that lined up for me that I needed something, whatever that like the what's that thing you tighten with the colors in it?
Kaleidoscope.
Whatever the kaleidoscope is that it makes people have to realize that something is wrong.
Yeah.
Though that was the moment where it was like,
oh, that's interesting.
I could see right down.
Those things never made me, those like being in Midtown Manhattan, have a meeting, have a big like production meeting on something.
And you could be on cocaine.
Get there half hour late. Desperate to have a cigarette. So like finding an abandoned office and smoking out the window and being almost very much in trouble and it being really clear. Those moments were so about surviving that hour that I never thought about them with any deeper perspective. I never thought, oh my God, what has my life become? I was just like, it would be easier to take the train. I'd be faster to take the train home to my cocaine, but I can't do coke on the train. So it was all just like figuring out the video game of being a drug addict.
Wow.
It was just a scramble for the present problem. And as soon as that problem was solved, I moved on.